Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm just kind of sitting in my office. I've set up camp. I have not put makeup on. I have mascara on and I did my eyebrows because I left the house earlier, but otherwise I have no makeup on. So basically, today's video is just gonna be super casual, super chatty. I'm basically just giving you guys some period horror stories because I have been wanting to share these for a while now. And who would have thought that when I was 12 years old that these stories would be a learning experience for someone maybe, or maybe making someone feel better at some point in their lives. So basically that's what I'm doing, is just sharing those horror stories, and hopefully they'll make you guys feel better about yourselves if you have encountered an experience with your period that's not necessarily great. It's kind of embarrassing. So before I get started sharing my stories, be sure to subscribe to my channel down below if you guys have not already, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up because I think periods used to be really awkward to talk about, and now that I'm an adult I feel like, hey, let's talk about it and it's fine. So give this video a thumbs up for my growth on that. Also, if you guys could comment down below any video ideas that you guys have, or any suggestions or requests or anything like that, I would love to film some videos for you guys that you want to watch. So you can just leave that down below. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm kind of going at this with no notes. This was very spur of the moment decision to film this. It's like been on my list of videos to film for a while, but like the time and the place of filming it right now is kind of very spur of the moment. So where do I want to start? So I guess I started my very first period when I was 11. It was the summer between 6th and 7th grade for me. And I remember none of my friends had it yet. I was the only person who had started my period at this point in time, and it was just really awkward. And then eventually, as we got through 7th grade, more of my friends that started getting their periods, so it wasn't as bad. But whenever I was in middle school, we used to call it an exclamation point instead of a period, and I have no idea why, but we just used to write it on a piece of paper when we really had to go to the bathroom because we needed to know if we just started our period or not. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything like that where you called your period something weird with your friends when you were younger because you were too embarrassed to call it what it was? So anyway, I remember one time I was in 7th grade and I was 11 or 12. I can't remember how old I was. Maybe I was 12. Nope, I was 12. I was 12. Sorry, I can't remember how old I was in middle school. But I was 12 years old, and it came time for classes to change. And when I was in middle school, we were required to wear uniforms. They weren't like set like uniforms that we bought from a school. It wasn't like a private school or anything. I went to a public school, but we were required to wear polos with khakis or navy or black pants. We had to have our shirts tucked in and we had to have a belt on. We weren't allowed to wear anything around our waist. We weren't allowed to have backpacks on. Everything had to be in our locker. If we were wearing a jacket, like I would have been able to wear this kind of sweatshirt. See how it has like, it's plain and it has no logos or anything like this on it. And my collar could show out the top of it. That was really the only kind of outerwear that we were allowed to wear in class, because obviously they didn't want us to be freezing in class, but they also, no logos were allowed. So with that backstory said, I wore khakis every day because that was kind of, that's just what I had. I didn't care to wear black or navy pants ever. So I think you can see where this is going just by me telling you that as a backstory. But basically, it got time to change class, and I knew that I had bled through my pants, but I didn't have time to go to the bathroom. And basically the way that the hallway was set up was that we had like little pods of classes. So it was like one group of classes was here and then one group of classes was here. And if you were on like this team, then you went to these 4 teachers. And if you were on this team, you went to these 4 teachers. And then down the hall, there were 2 more of those little pod things. And the bathroom was like in between those. So it met. So literally everybody was coming from all the directions to go to the bathroom in between class changes because we couldn't go during class. So I didn't go to the bathroom, and I was going into the very last class of the day, and I remember like telling my friend, we were waiting in line up against some lockers to go into the classroom, and I remember telling my friend, I was like, this is an emergency and I need you to stand behind me, because we, like I said, couldn't wear a book bag, so it's not like I could just like use it to like block my butt, and we had to have our shirts tucked in and a belt on, so like I couldn't cover it with my shirt. I couldn't wear a sweatshirt around my waist. Like I was completely like exposed to the world with just blood all over the back of my pants, and they were khaki, so it's not like there was any hiding it. And I just remember being so embarrassed because after school was over, we were allowed to tie the thing around my waist, so I had a jacket, and I remember getting up out of my seat to leave for the day, and I was hanging around towards the back of the classroom because I didn't really want anybody to see. and some guy was like, what is that all over your chair? And apparently, like, it was so gross, like literally disgusting, but I had gotten blood on my chair. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I just sat in. And like, I didn't look at the back of my pants or anything because I knew what was there and I wasn't about to have him look at my butt. So it was just really embarrassing. And I remember getting home and showing my pants to my mom, and she was like, how did this even happen? And I don't even know how it happened, because I think it was just, when I was 12, I wore pads. And so I think it was just the way that my pad was adjusted in my underwear or something, to where like it was missing the pad, because it's not like my period was that heavy. I was literally 12, so like it wasn't that bad. But I just remember that happening, and that was so embarrassing and just so awkward, and I don't even wanna, I can't believe that that happened. But now that I look back at it, I'm like, so many things like that have happened to me before, like after that, and that is not even one of the worst ones. So next, I remember I was at Bible study. This one was actually in college. I was at a Bible study, and this was like right after I first started wearing tampons. And so when you're on your period and you have a pad and you can like see the amount of flow that you have, like, you know when you need to change it. But whenever I had just started wearing tampons, I wasn't really sure like what my flow was like, I guess, at that point. So I remember just being at a Bible study, and I went to the bathroom and I went to my friend and I was like, we have to go right now. And everything was finished and we were all just chatting and having a good time or whatever. And I went to my friend and I was like, red alert, we need to go right now. And she was like, what's wrong? I was like, I need to go right now. I need to be at home right now. I need to change clothes. And so I just remember I was walking down the stairs, we had said our goodbyes and everything, and then suddenly the leader of our group was like, oh, hey Hunter, something about a job. And I literally sat there and had a conversation with her about a job for another half hour before I could leave. And this wasn't something that anybody even knew about except for me. I was just very aware of the fact that I was bleeding all over my jeans, like literally all over it, and I was in my friend's car, so it's not even like I was gonna be sitting on my own car seats. It was just the absolute worst, and I cannot believe that I let that happen, because I was old enough to like really understand my body at that point. So I don't know why that happened, but I just remember it's really, really funny. Like, I honestly think it was really funny at the time too, because that just shows how desperate I was for a job. But I don't know, I just thought it was a really funny thing that happened. And it's funny because the people that were with us had no idea what was going on. The only reason my friend knew was because I told her why we needed to leave immediately, and I just thought that was really funny. Anyway, I've just watched a lot of like girl talk Q&As with people who have enough followers to actually get questions in their Q&As, and so I was like, wait, I want to share some of these stories. So that's just why I decided to get on here, so in case, you know, you have any embarrassing stories, you can share them with me. And in case you're scared of any of these things happening, then it'll make you feel better to know you're not the only one in the world that has had problems with their period in the past. I can't believe I'm talking about this, honestly, because like I said, I used to be like the last person in the world to talk about it. In fact, I literally went to the OBGYN for the very first time today, and it was absolutely horrific, and I never want to go again. Unfortunately, I'm a female, so I'm gonna have to go every year for the rest of my life. But it is what it is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you a little laugh. Hope you enjoyed my misery, because I feel like a lot of my ranty videos do well. So this is another one of those things where it's like my misery is kind of coming out here. So anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video, hopefully if you subscribe, and peace out.